Psalms chapter 55 and verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Makakradash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect. This is your brother Dawadah from the Men of Valor Campaign, Greenville, South Carolina, coming back with another video in sincerity and in truth. Lord willing, it can be edifying. And I got a quick TikTok I want to play, right? Because there's been some major things happening, all right, with your guy Nero 47, all right, concerning these tariffs, his unrighteous decrees, all right, which he had rolled these out like a month or two into his second term, which started last year, right? And he had announced all these different tariffs. He was always saying that countries didn't pay their fair share and everything like that. So he was putting countries on these different tariffs on these countries to get them to comply. And some did comply, some did, they did bend to America's will, but a lot of them was like, fuck it, we'll go deal with BRICS. So now Trump had announced a 10% global tariff. And I had saw that. I was like, bro, this nigga's a devil, man. Like he basically putting a tariff tax on the whole world. And here's the funny thing about these tariffs. Once you actually did your research on it, when they put the tariffs on things, all they did was the companies did was increase the price. Now, the fact that the Supreme Court has come out and said that these tariffs were unconstitutional, that Trump didn't have the authority to do that, now you have companies coming in and actually suing basically to get the money back that they never actually charged people to, they never actually had to pay. They passed the price along to the consumer, so you would think that the consumer is the one that's supposed to be getting some money back. That show you, hey, if people are about to really find out, all right, because I have a funny video, I have a serious, straightforward video, but I have a parody video that explains this as well, as far as just how much this government just doesn't care about you. Now, we understood this. You people are about to come to understand that they don't care about you in your justice. They don't care about you in your constitution. They don't care about you in your civil rights. They don't care about you in your, in any type of wealth building for you. All right. They want you to own nothing. They're about to try to put that C-hip in you people, man. All right. That is their plan. All right. And right now it's going to go down to, hey, they pissing you people off. People that have been paying all this money in tariffs, and hey, you got guys like Kevin O'Leary and stuff. And what's so funny, they have to pay this. They're basically having their clients come to them demanding money because of these tariffs touch so many different, so many different industries, that it's fucking up money. It's causing money on top of the fact that, Trump be making the stock market go up and down, Bitcoin be jumping up and down just based off of, what's going on with the war. All right. So, hey, through the spirit, man, he is that cruel Lord, man, and that fierce king. And I'm going to bring that out through the spirit. With so much he's doing. And then on top of that, he's mentioned over 600 times in the Epstein files, man. All right, this guy's a devil. All right, but that's why I started with this. I'm going to read it again. Psalms chapter 55 and verse 21. It says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter. Yeah, he comes and, make America great again. We're going to no tax on tips, no this, no that. When he was running, all right, we saw what the average politician does, but we saw it amplified with Nero, 47. All right, they come in, they promise all these things, and then when they get in office, they heel turn. Why? Because presidents aren't elected; they're selected. They don't serve the citizen; they serve a hidden hand. All right, Trump is just a puppet for a hidden hand, man. So it says, but war was in his heart. Yeah, because, they try to act like they're trying to help the people, but they're really snaring you people, man. It says his words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Exactly. They're getting ready to prepare war with Palantir and all this shit, man. they're going to wage war on the American population. They got these sonic weapons and microwave weapons they can use on the American populace. They're setting up concentration camps, not just for so-called illegal immigrants, but also anybody that goes against what Trump has to say. Because, hey, these damn Epstein files, man, got everybody pissed off. So if you got something to say about that shit, then they gonna lock your ass up, man. All right, that's just where it's about to go down to. Revelation 12:12. He's gonna come down with that great wrath, knowing that he have but a short time. All right, but without further ado, I just wanted to bring that out, get a little context of this. But let's listen to this TikTok.
President Trump is watching in real time everything come crashing down on him to a screeching halt as MAGA and his own Republicans turn against him. Trump put out a tweet today saying Republicans are so disloyal to themselves. Unite, stick together, and win President Donald J. Trump. He is absolutely losing his mind because he knows what is going to come next. He just had all of his tariffs taken away by the Supreme Court today. This is because Donald Trump broke the law by instating tariffs in the first place, because that was never a power he was granted. That's the power of Congress. Donald Trump.
So yeah, he came in, and remember he came in signing all those executive orders, just signing shit. All right, how about that? All right, so it comes out that he was never actually allowed to do this, man. All right, this is major. This is pissing the world off.
Was in the Epstein files. He lied and said he's not. He ruined the economy. He lied and said he didn't. And now the Supreme Court had to step in. However, Donald Trump is so used to breaking the law that he actually put out a second tweet vowing to break the law again, saying, "It is my great honor to have just signed from the Oval Office a global 10% tariff on all countries, which will be effective almost immediately. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump." And then he went into a press conference and absolutely embarrassed himself, where he makes up yet another imaginary enemy for MAGA to be angry at, just like he made up Antifa, when the simple case and truth is that Donald Trump broke the law and violated the Constitution again. And we're going to hear it from himself in this video right here. Let's take a look at this.
Not to mention, he had what? He had all them felonies or whatever they tried to hit him with. This guy, if you go into not just his presidential shit, but also when he was a businessman, man, he was always doing some shady business. All right, but that's America for you. He's the embodiment of America. All right, they talking about making a deal. Really, it's intimidation, and threats.
This clip.
You say to foreign nations who seek to renegotiate their deals, and what did you mean a moment ago when you said that the Supreme Court has been swayed by foreign interests?
Well, I think that foreign interests are represented by people that I believe have undue influence, have a lot of influence over the Supreme Court, whether it's through fear or respect or friendships, I don't know. But I know some of the people that were involved on the other side, and I don't like them. I think they're real slime balls. And got to do what's right for the country. You got to do what's right for the Constitution. That's why I respect so much Justice Thomas and Alito, Kavanaugh, because they not only dissented, their dissent is so strong. When you read their dissent, a lot of times you'll read a dissent and it's like, well, you don't know, it could go either way.
Those three justices he named are the ones he appointed, by the way, the ones that just vote yes to whatever Donald Trump wants to do, because he ultimately lost in a 6-3 ruling because Trump himself stated he was going by some fake 1977 law that allowed him to implement tariffs without Congress. However, when the Supreme Court investigated and looked into it, that 1977 ruling said nothing about tariffs. Donald Trump made it up. He lied. So what does he do to try to cover up that lie? He lies yet again. We're used to this routine. However, let's let him continue.
The good news is,
hey, you see the 144 both ways right there, man. But I want to get something real quick, because he said something important. This is Job 13:4. But ye are forgers of lies, ye are all physicians of no value. I remember they pulled this shit with the Crown Vic. Trying to say, oh, it's killing all these people. Get your boosters, get you this, get you that. All right, and Trump was pushing it, and Biden was pushing it too, man. All right, but they're also forgers of lies. They just be lying about shit. They lied about the mortality rate of the Crown Vic. They're lying about Iran trying to obtain a nuclear weapon. If they were trying to obtain a nuclear weapon, it's just to defend themselves against Israel and the United States, because they know that America and the state of Israel wants them gone. So that's why. All right, Esau's the real violent man, but he tries to claim that everybody else is violent. Everybody else is just so out to get him. All right, meanwhile, he been out here slaughtering people for centuries. All right, but let's go back.
it's like Justice Kavanaugh said, very strongly said, you have other ways you can go. You don't have to go that way. You can go other way. There are numerous other ways you can go. And frankly, this should have been done by presidents many years ago. They allowed our country to be eaten alive.
He is watching in real time everything come.
All right, there's another one. Hold on.
The Supreme Court ruled that the tariffs was illegal. We seen that. We already suing to try to get our money back. Y'all suing. What y'all suing for? Y'all ain't have to pay nothing. That's the beauty of it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all had to spend all that money. When we get to sue them to get the money that we didn't even have to spend back. Brilliant. So since the consumer had to spend more and y'all didn't really have to spend money, shouldn't that $175 billion go back to the consumers? Boy, hell nah. Boy, we trying to get this money up. Y'all had to spend more money. We're going to take the money y'all already spent. The money was spent. The money spent already. We're going to sue the government because the tariff shouldn't have been implemented in the first place because we had to raise our prices, all right? And y'all spent that money. So are y'all going to lower y'all prices then? Oh, we going to lower... boy, them prices never going back down. Ever. So what does the consumer get at the end of all this? You get to say I told you so. That's about it. But make sure you continue to shop with us. The Supreme.
You see that? All right, there's truth in comedy, man. All right, this guy always be imitating Trump and shit, but he broke down, in the most Jake way possible. All right, with this shit going on with these tariffs, so we finding out that these tariffs were not constitutional. So you had these companies that implemented the tariffs and added prices to their things. It didn't cost them anything to add the prices to make the prices go up. They just passed it along to the consumer, and we had to pay. Everybody that bought shit had to pay extra because of Trump's tariffs. But now that it's coming out that it was unconstitutional, the people aren't suing. It's the company suing the government. So they're about to try to get some money that they never actually even had to spend. That shows you how corrupt this nation is, man, and the corporations within it. All right, they don't even give a shit, man. If they cared about people actually living a prosperous life, then it's enough to go around for sure. It's enough land, it's enough resources, but that's not how they operate. They want you to own nothing and be happy. All right, that's what this NWO is all about. But let's get this. All right, because this all stems from Trump's ass, man. This is Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 4. It says, "And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord of hosts." And this is speaking about modern day Egypt, spiritual Egypt, which is America, Babylon the Great, because in Revelations it speaks about their dead bodies lying in the streets of the great city, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. So this is spiritual Egypt. All right, he's that cruel Lord and that fierce king. All right, the Nero 47 through the spirit, and the spirit of the prophets are subject to the prophets. So the spirit of everybody else will be subject to everybody else. So you have spirits that are set up as kings and rulers, all right, of these Edomite nations. And Trump, all right, if he is Nero played a major role in ancient Rome, and this is Rome all over again. And he's back in his lot doing exactly what the Lord is wanting him to do, and he's bringing these nations in the World War III. Him and his best friend Bibi, and they're the least of the flock. All right, they got their hand all up Trump's. You get it, But just wanted to bring this out, man. Those couple videos. All right, they come at you with, we're trying to help the people, we're trying to help the economy. Oh, you people, Trump was telling them, you're gonna be so rich, huh? All right, and it turns out this shit wasn't even constitutional. And what is this going to make? What is this going to do to all these other countries, these foreign countries whose economies got destroyed, all right, because of these tariffs, and people losing money because these tariffs, there was a tariff war between America and China. America was never supposed to be able to put tariffs on these nations, right? And then result of that, China put tariffs on their products or whatever, which hurt their economy. So the whole economy is about to come down over some shit that Trump did that wasn't even constitutional to begin with. How about that? All right, but that's Proverbs 21:1 for you. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, and as rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. All right, the Lord is in control of the kings of the earth. And he's bringing them, hey, to fight each other, man. In this third world war that's going to go nuclear. This is where we are in prophecy, man. So I just wanted to share that, man. Lord willing, is edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah Bahashem, Rukakwadash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, Haru Well. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Till next time, Shalom.